See residential care and foster care as a community resource for children, rather than something that's done as a commercial enterprise a distance away from families and away from the communities where children live. So we actually help to care for children in their local communities, still in contact with their siblings, with their parents, with their grandparents, etc. Rather than what we do at the moment, we see it as a separate enterprise. You're either with your family or you're not with your family. And that's how we've fixed it. And it's not a sensible position to have got to.
No. Thank you. And Jenny,
45% of children in the last 2 years had more than 2 placements. 1 in 10 had 3 placements last year. When I call it a placement, it sounds inanimate. However, what this means is a breakdown in relationships each time. They are changing their carers, sometimes their school, sometimes their friends, their neighborhoods, each time this happens. And these statistics have not changed. I think one minister mentioned earlier, these have not changed over the last years.
well, we've kind of drifted into this to a certain extent, but I'm wondering, are there any particular ways to protect a child's sense of identity and their subsequent mental health when procuring long-term placements such as foster care and adoption?
Well, if we go back to the idea that what we want to do is to give children stability in their life and people who actually care about them and where they feel safe and secure. We don't do that by bussing them around the country to care homes which are a long way away, where their social workers are churning over and changing, where 20% of social workers now in children's services in England are employed through private employment agencies, are here today and gone tomorrow, and where foster care, 50% of children in foster placements in England are now placed through private for-profit fostering agencies, again, largely away from their local areas. So what we want to build are local community services for children and families, including care services for those children who at that point in time can't live with their family. We know that children in care, young people in care, as they get older, will gravitate back towards their communities. That's where they will end up. Yeah? So if that's where they're going to be, let's actually make it better for them there now. And that's not what we are doing. We are sending children a long way away, breaking their school links, their friendship links, their family links. They're unseen by their social workers, and the social worker today might not be the social worker tomorrow. So we know how to do this. And if you want to have some ideas about what we do in terms of investment, I'm happy to share those with you as well, because we can actually make a difference. And at the moment, what we are doing is we are making it worse for children.
Can I ask, are there any areas within England or within the UK where they are succeeding in not sending those children much further away, and what can we learn from those in terms of addressing need locally?
It amazes me how well some areas are doing. It really does amaze me how well some local authorities are doing, how well some directors of children's services and their staff are doing with their colleagues in health and in schools, etc. It amazes me, because I would struggle to be doing it as well as they are now doing it in the circumstances in which they're working.
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, okay. Go to Essex, go to Hampshire, go to places where they've retained their children's homes, where they still have local provision, where they have stability of leadership, where the councils actually are, in terms of governance, focus on what is the experience of children and families within their communities rather than doing exciting things in terms of innovation. They've calmed it down, they've got stability, they have leaders who've been around for a long time, they've got a culture where their workforce feels safe and supported and where their services are embedded within their communities. And they know those communities in terms of what's going on for children and families within those communities. And they know the professionals in other agencies, they know the health officers, they know the GPs. To the extent we have community policing, they know the community policing officers, they know the head teachers in the schools, despite the fragmentation in education these days. That's where it's working well.
Now, Save the Woman is a member of the Impact Coalition UK. It's an organisation that supports families. There has been an unfortunate thing that a lot of African families are losing their children. So Save the Woman has been fighting to make sure that our children are returned to their families, because we believe that birth families are the right place for children. And often it's cultural misunderstanding that leads to the removal of children. I mean, in Africa we say it takes a village to raise a child. And often parents need the support of the community. So what Save the Woman has developed is Afrocentric parenting skills, in order that parents can learn how to bridge the gap with the culture here. Because what you can do in Africa, you can't do in the European context. So I want to thank Sister Yanela for organizing and making sure I was here, Sister Cheryl for her generosity, my son Olaleko, who is the CEO of Save the Woman, because I can African, I collect children. I'm from Ghana, but this Nigerian son is my son. And Sister Nana Hanja for not only keeping me company, but making sure I got here in style. There's a lady that you all need to know. Her name was Shirley Chisholm. She was the first African-American woman to make it to Congress. And she said, you don't make progress by standing on the sidelines, whimpering and complaining. You make progress by implementing ideas. And what I love about tonight is that there is autism in the world. You implement.
And you see the two gentlemen that sit down together. I want to introduce to you the only one that advocates in the entire Middle and the United Kingdom. Save the woman. Save the woman. Somebody say save the woman. Somebody save the woman. Somebody say save the woman from the back. I want to introduce to you Dr. God bless you. God bless you. Don't worry. In case the councillor and the mayor decide to carry your child, this one will collect you from your hand. You see that I have both of them in my hand. If the mayor say I am taking your child, I say don't collect my children from me. And he has done it not one time, he has done it not two times. He's perpetually doing and he's doing it. Can you clap to the Almighty God? Clap to the Almighty God, celebrating, 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 celebrating. I call him anytime, every day. Say, Pastor, I say, Pastor, already application.
The problem currently now is what we call Afrophobia, racism, double standard, unequal treatment, biased judgments. They took away our culture, they took away our freedom, and now targeting, looking after our children is not going to be acceptable. The mom was even knelt down begging
at the school.
At the school, like an African parent, that I'm sorry. They took away their children. They want to take a baby, it's okay, but give mom a sleeping bag to sleep rough on the street.
Around the world, Maldives, Santorini, why you find Versace? I love you, you're my G. Even if now I'm granted, I go still love you, my one day. Follow bomba to bomba, I go be your defender. When I lose my breath, baby, would you be my healer? Too many things I don't realize when I'm with you.
I want to